They're a party flying through the air without a net. Joining me now are Politics Nation circus correspondents Angela Rye and Toure. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rev.
Angela, they promised a new show, but it looks and sounds just like the old one to me. How do they expect to attract new voters if they keep putting on the same song and dance?
I don't think they expect to attract new voters, Rev. They think that they have it so good, these same old policies distributed by these same old folks is going to be acceptable, and it's not. They also need to really look at how they're utilizing tokenism. The fact that they can find a black or Latino face to promote propaganda that is not helpful for their communities nor their families is highly problematic. Whether Rubio is looking at his friends and his neighbors saying they're not freeloaders, they're not liberals, it's ridiculous. It's atrocious, and the rhetoric really has to stop.
You know, Toure, many of the speakers at CPAC today made it clear that they don't think the GOP has to change. Listen to this.
The problem with the modern Republican Party is that you have a bunch of Republicans who speak like conservatives and act like moderates. We need Republicans who can speak like moderates and act like conservatives.
Now, the popular media narrative is that this country has shifted away from conservative ideals, as evidenced by the last two presidential elections. That might be true if Republicans had actually nominated conservative candidates in 2008 and 2012.
We don't need a new idea. There is an idea. The idea is called America, and it still works.
Now, conservatives say their party doesn't have to change, but a recent NBC News poll, Toure, shows that Americans back Democrats on the issue.
Sure.
They trust them to look out for middle class. Democrats hold a 22-point advantage when they ask, do they trust them to hold? Who do they trust to hold or take care of the middle class? On Medicare, 18-point lead. Healthcare, 16-point lead. Gun violence, 15-point lead. Social Security, 14-point lead. And have advantage on energy policy, immigration, taxes, economy, on and on. The Democrats outpolled.
Yeah. Oh, first of all, that was awesome. I love that you did that. That was so cool. Look, the Republicans have a major problem in terms of they've been dealing with this white racial anxiety, right? White resentment. That's been this sort of fuel that they've used for decades, pretty much since 1964 when they started the Southern Strategy, to rally the wagons, to rally white working class people who would then, against their economic interests, enroll with the rich people who would make sense to vote for the Republicans. If they're going to counteract the obvious demographic trends of America, the browning of America, the fact that in 2042 there will be more black, brown, and Asian people in America than white people. If they're going to counteract that, they have to get off of that. But how can you get off the sauce when attracting the other voter, the black, brown, and Asian voter, would go directly counter to what you've been doing in selling the sauce? You can't do it. So they have a major problem.
Well, let me tell you how.
When Angela's talking about enough with the window dressing, that's absolutely correct. They think they can put a brown face out there and that's going to make the difference. We see through that.
Well, let me tell you the sauce they're going to use. Let's see if you do see through it. Alan West is back, and he once called congressional Democrats communists. He was back today with some more controversial statements. Watch this, Angela.
I'm speaking from experience when I tell you that there's nothing on this green earth that a liberal progressive fears more than a black American who wants a better life and a smaller government.
Now, Angela, I will admit that I've been blacker longer than you and Toure, but I have never heard anything like that in my life from progressive liberals.
Well, I hope you never will again from a conservative like Alan West. You know, God bless him. He's one of my former bosses with the Congressional Black Caucus. Last year he was calling, people like the legendary Maxine Waters and others overseers on the Democratic plantation. This is the type of hateful, divisive rhetoric that we just cannot afford to have in a country that right now is considering things like immigration reform and finding parity across the board for folks who don't look the same. This is, a conference that right now has an agenda item that says, should we kill all the consultants now? Again, with an assault ban weapon, amendment that just passed the Senate Judiciary Committee today. We really can't afford to, play rhetoric with things that are so crucial to moving this country forward. Marco Rubio talked today about, the idea is America and it doesn't change and doesn't have to change. I reject that. There's nothing in our history that says we have not evolved, that we've not consistently changed, and it is time for yet another change, Rev.
And when they use that Democratic plantation language, Angela, I find it so disgusting and so racist to import this language of slavery as if we are trapped here. We choose to be Democrats. We choose to be progressives and liberals. We're not trapped here like slaves. So, I mean, that is just, again, this sort of insensitive racial language that they perpetuate like self-deportation, these other sort of things, that just says, this is why black and brown people don't want to roll with you.
And then you got this also, in case you don't remember Hillary the movie, the Washington Post wrote in 2010, after it became clear that Hillary Rodham Clinton would run for president, Citizens United released Hillary the movie, featuring a who's who cast of right-wing commentators, and the 2008 film takes viewers on savaging journey through Clinton's scandal. So, I mean, all of this is look, they're showing that film tonight at the CPAC circus.
Oh, well, good luck with that. Before we even get to dealing with Hillary in 2016, they're going to have to deal with immigration, right? And the center of that is, can you deal with the changing America that is happening right now? Or are you going to try to say, we want America to stay like it was, like it no longer has been for decades, but we still want Ward and June Cleaver and the Beeve, and that's not happening. So you're going to embrace the change, or are you going to fight against it and be left behind?
Well, I know what they think is best. They listen to Alan West. Angela Rye and Toure, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.
And watch Toure on The Cycle weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern here on MSNBC. Ahead, the true cost of war. A Republican said something today that shows the party's learned nothing since mission accomplished. And my colleague Mika Brzezinski joins us tonight on getting us healthy and standing up for women.
Anyone have occasional constipation, diarrhea, gas?